Because see, it is difficult at the end of the day to figure out what everybody's going to eat, right? But we know everybody needs food and that we've got to come up with some solutions and strategies to put food on the table. Well, I challenge you to think of sex as being the same way. And I think ultimately, if you start to think of it as a necessity like food, it's like fertilizer for the relationship, right? You get a plant, you start a garden, you don't put any fertilizer on it or water on it, that damn plant is going to die, right? But you can bring it back. It will brown and it'll fall apart and it will look damn near dead. But before you throw it out, if you put a bunch of water on it and start tending to it, it can come back. Well, relationships are the same way. That sexual piece won't keep two people together, but it will break y'all up. It's very clear about that. The sex part needs to start to be considered almost as important as figuring out, okay, well, we got needs, but everybody has to eat. Everybody has certain needs. That the one of you has sexual needs, hopefully both of you, and if not, we have to meet those. So if you start by flipping the thought process on it so that it's not necessarily, oh, well, a relationship doesn't really need this, so I'll just figure it out later. But to think, you know what, my relationship really needs this. Sex kind of is the glue that kind of can glue people together in particular ways. If that sex piece was there in the beginning and it's not there now, that's a problem. We've got to come up with strategies. So I have a template or a letter that I'm going to share with you because a handwritten note is the best way to start this. Not a text message, not a typed up letter, but a handwritten note to your person about what's going on here. Why can't we connect sexually? What do we need to do to figure out how to put fertilizer back into the relationship? Or is this it? Because at the end of the day, this may be it. You may have decided you checked out of the thing and you're not interested in sex anymore. If that's the case, I want to know, right? You want to know so that you can figure out what your next step is. Because honestly, if you commit to somebody at the age of 25 or 30 and you've committed to foreverness, do we get to foreverness at the age of 45 and 35 if there's no sex involved, right? For those of you who feel like, we've hit a roadblock in our relationship, can we recover from it? Of course you can. You guys just have to decide together if it's worth putting the time and the energy in to recover, or is it going to be the straw that broke the camel's back? So here's a great template of a letter, and I have the link below so you can get this template. And what the important part about the template isn't necessarily the words, but the important part of how to handle a sexless marriage is to look at the sections and to make sure that your handwritten letter addresses each of these. And then I want you to take it and approach it from this perspective. So I wrote it as if I was writing it to Terry. And it says, "Dear Terry, I wanted to take a minute to write you a letter to tell you how much I love you." Now, so let's talk about why that part is so important. That part is important because what you're doing when you tell somebody how much you love them is you're leading with the positive, right? So I'm writing this, let me underline it, to tell you how much I love you. I spent the last week thinking and reviewing all the amazing things we've done together, right? So you're leading with the positive. You're letting them know that this is not an angry, hate mail message, right? So in red here, I put, remember our trip to Paris? Wow, that was amazing, right? So this is the part where you put something that you remember and that your partner is going to remember, right? Something super fun that you guys have done together. In particular, I've thought about how much I daydream about when you used to ... This is where you fill in something sexual that you like. So for me, I put, on a whim, do me in the car, right? So you want to go hard on this one. You want to put something in there that's just like so sexual that the letter cannot dance around the sexual elephant in the room, right? Okay. Then it says, just thinking about it makes me throb. You could say wet. You could say hard. You could say whatever. This is a word that's going to work for both of you. So here's the great thing about the letter template is that it's going to use you to use your own language, right? Because throb for me may work, but it may not do anything for you or your partner. So you need to put your own words on there, right? And then you are so damn sexy. So this is where you want to put a compliment in, right? You could put hot. You know, you know, you don't even have to use the word damn. You can use whatever word you guys use that gets you hot. This is why this letter will work for any culture, because you put in your own cultural words and phrases and the things that move you and your partner for this letter to actually work, right? Okay, so you're so damn sexy. Lately, I have felt as if you no longer feel that type of connection with me anymore. Okay, so see how we're focusing on our feelings and not on the D, right? Because typically when men aren't having sex, everybody just assumes, oh, he's such a horn dog. He just wants sex all the time. But what this letter does is we are focusing on our feelings because you have them and they are valid and they should be shared. I felt as if you no longer feel that type of connection with me anymore, right? So you're not putting any blame anywhere. You're just telling how you feel. The last time we had sex, and this is where you fill in your part, was months ago. Maybe it was years ago. Maybe it was last week. Who knows? But it's important to you, so you put it on there. So this is about how long ago. The last time I felt your body on mine feels like eons ago. This is another one. Use your own phrasing and word for that. And I miss it. So see how saying I miss it actually is going to make them know what you're feeling, and not just that this is not just about sex. This is about how I feel when you don't touch me, how I feel when you don't look at me sexually anymore. This is how I feel. I'm feeling empty, right? It makes me feel as if you no longer want to be here with me, right? So we're taking this and letting them know, like, listen, I'm getting the impression that you don't really want to be here. And I am going to need to know, do you want to be here? Because I want to be here, but if you don't want to be here, I don't want to be here with somebody who doesn't want to be here with me, right? And it makes me feel like less of a, I put a woman here because I was writing it, to feel as if you have given up on that part of us. I miss it and I miss us. That, right? Okay. When he or she reads this, all they can do is be like, wow, ooh, we got to fix this, right? Connecting with you like that actually makes me feel so good. I feel like I'm capable of anything, almost like, and for me, it makes me feel like a superhero. So I put superhero. What does it make you feel like? So I put that in black there so that you would know to fill in what makes you feel like. Without that type of energy, I will not lie, I have felt pretty low. Damn, right? And that's exactly what it feels like when your partner has left you sexually. It makes you feel low. So you are 100% telling the truth here, but what you're doing is you're creating empathy. So the only way that we can get the shift that we need from our partner is to create some empathy. So this statement right here gives us the empathy. Now they're relating, they're connecting. Like, well, damn, that does sound pretty bad. I would like to know from you, do you think our best days are behind us? Do you think we can ever recreate that sexual connection like we used to have? Is it over for us sexually? Here we go. Because honestly, the way things are right now has me feeling extremely like our sexual relationship has transitioned. Now, this word transitioned, you know, I'm Black. We use this word transitioned. You can use died. You can use expired. But the whole idea here is to let your person know, listen, something about us has died. All right. And what do we need to do? We need CPR. We need to resuscitate. We need to call EMS, call 911. Something has to happen to help this, right? If you feel as strongly about us as I do, let's take a moment to figure out what we can do together to make the change, because I want to be here. I love you dearly. Now, here's the part. Now, some of you are going to be like, dang, Doc, is this too much? I love you dearly, but I do not think I can live out the rest of my life with this type of void. You've said it. You put it out there. You have let them know. Now, you can even write this letter and read it, but handwrite it. Don't text it. Don't mail it. Don't do anything other than write it. Writing it comes up with a whole nother layer of personalness. So here we go. I have taken Sunday off. Now, you got to pick a day or a time, right? Because this lets them know that this is serious. This is not something we need to talk about later. I'm not just going to drop this letter and be like, maybe we could talk about it soon one day. No, I have taken Sunday off and would like for us to spend time discovering how things can get better between us. I would like to do it this week because this is a pressing issue for me. You've made it very clear that this is very serious, okay? And then you just keep it simple. Yours truly, or love, or yours forever, and put your name. And then here's the important part. Now, bam. I talk about how sex is a commodity exchange. It is, whether you know it or not. I left you something on the nightstand. I hope you like it. This is very important. I want you to leave something on the nightstand, a nice little gift, just to lighten up everything. Something that's a favorite, something, it doesn't even have to be expensive. It can just be something that lets your partner know you think about them, you love them, you miss them. I would even go sexual with it. Maybe it's an outfit, something. Just make sure you got a gift, okay? And I want you to reintegrate gift giving into your everyday strategies because remember, sex is a commodity exchange. Your partner is thinking, well, God, okay, I guess, let me try. I can try to bring more sex, but what am I going to get out of it? We'll make it clear what we're going to get back in exchange for all of this good stuff that you're about to get, right? So this is a template that you can download. Use the link below and just print it out, write it down. Use it as an outline. You don't have to use my exact words, but this is very strategy focused. It leads with the positive. It hits where it should hit, and it makes it very clear that, listen, the time is now. We've got to work on fixing this, okay? So I hope this helps. So then, once that elephant is out of the room and you guys are really talking about it, now you got to figure out how things fell apart in the first place. How did we get to where we are now? Is this just a choice? Did something happen to our relationship? Did somebody cheat? Is there something else that we need to get to the bottom of? Or is it that we simply grew apart? Is it because we had kids and we both got busy? Or is it because either you or I don't like what I do sexually? Yeah, because that could be a thing. It could be something that's happening every time you have sex that maybe your partner doesn't like. So instead of telling you, they maybe are avoiding some things, or maybe their body has changed and you haven't updated your style towards the changes. So you got to then now, once you open that door, now's the time to get to the bottom of it, to get all the elephants out of the closet, to talk about it. Do we need therapy? Do we need to find someone to help us through this? Or can we sort through it ourselves? And this letter helps be the jumping point.